Hello everyone, welcome to the Wisconsin Academy of Family Physicians State of the Academy. We would like to report on what happened in 2015 and what's coming up in 2016. My name is Larry Pheifer and I'm the Executive Director of the Wisconsin Academy of Family Physicians.
Hello, I'm Mark Thompson, immediate past president and incoming chair.
And I'm Dave Deci, incoming president of the Academy for 2016.
Well, one of the things we would like to start out with is tell you a little bit about the Academy and about some of the things that we have done and accomplished this past year. The Wisconsin Academy of Family Physicians is the state chapter of the American Academy of Family Physicians. There are over 120,000 members in the American Academy of Family Physicians. And here in Wisconsin, we're really very lucky. We've got about an 82% market share, and we have just under 3,000 members. About 1,800 of those members are active members. We have about 260 residents and about 500 medical students. We also have a number of life members that also contribute to the Academy. We've been very fortunate over the years that we've had such a high percentage of the members be members of the Academy. You cannot be a member of the Wisconsin Academy without being a member of the American Academy. So that's something that's very important to remember. So when renewing your membership, you need to do them both at the same time. With that, we'd like to talk a little bit about 2015. There was an awful lot of things that happened, but we actually had something at the national level that we contributed to, Mark.
Yes.
Or Dave.
Yes. As Larry pointed out, we have a very vigorous state chapter, and with that comes some significant involvement at the national level. The American Academy certainly serves as the voice of our specialty, and within that, state chapters have the ability to demonstrate leadership and to influence policy and direction of our national organization. And this year we were very pleased to have one of our own members, Alan Schwerstein, be elected as Vice Speaker of the Academy, a very important and influential role, and it was through the hard work of many of our members and our leadership team that Alan was elected to that important position.
There's been a lot of things that have happened throughout the course of the year. Mark, maybe you just want to talk about the award that the foundation has established in honor of Dave Eitrheim.
Excellent. I'm very happy to share this information with you, but also a bit saddened. Dave Eitrheim was a great leader in family medicine in Wisconsin and one of our past presidents, and did wonderful work with medical students and work with family medicine leadership, particularly around the medical home model, which he chaired a committee in, which was recognized nationally. Dave suffered from an illness for the last several years, and in that process helped put a scholarship together for rural medicine. And we had the pleasure with Dave of awarding the first scholarship for rural medicine this past year. On January 1st, Dave Eitrheim passed away, and he's leaving a legacy of leadership, and we are very pleased to help move forward rural medicine training in Wisconsin with the scholarship that's been established.
And Mark, any of the viewers that are watching this, if they were interested in contributing to this scholarship, they could just go online and find that and help us create an endowment so that we can do this for years to come. One of the things that we have been working on for a number of years is how do we engage, how do we reach out to our members? Our members are throughout the entire state. And historically, we've done an annual meeting and have met someplace, and everybody came. But it hasn't felt like we really reached out to people. So last year, we initiated something called E3, Engage, Enrich, and Energize. And the idea is, instead of people coming to us, the Academy, that the Academy would reach out. And so we did a number of virtual meetings, a number of road shows where we went out to different parts of the state and presented. We're going to continue to do that. We felt like we've had pretty good outreach there. We are also going to be extending this to podcasts for the upcoming year, where we're going to take a particular topic and then provide some information so that as you're driving from point A to point B, you can just tune in on your iPhone and play the podcast. It'll be about a 5 to 8 minute podcast, and then hopefully get some CME for that at the same time. So stay tuned for some of that information. We also, Mark, did a virtual annual meeting last year, and we're going to do another one again this year, right?
Yes, January 23rd.
Great, so we hope that we get everybody to come for that. Dave, the only reason that we are successful is because we have our members that are committee members and board members and stuff like that. Do you want to maybe just address that? We're pretty fortunate.
Yeah, certainly the strength of an organization really is dependent upon the members and their individual efforts and their dedication and ability to provide time and talent to the organization. So I'm real pleased that Wisconsin has an extremely active and engaged group of members. And in doing so, I think the other important thing is, as a leadership team, really understanding what your needs are. And as Larry mentioned, we creatively and innovatively changed our annual meeting and have sought ways to really connect with our members in a more direct way. And that's a direct result of the survey information that we've gotten on an annual basis. So I want to certainly stress to our members that we are a responsive team. We are here to serve. And in doing so, we've been able to accomplish a lot of really important things that affect you in your practice around the state.
Well, and one of the things that we try to do is we use that membership information so that we can make knowledge-based decisions, so that we know what it is that our members are thinking, what the capacity is of the organization to do things, and so on. And there's a couple of things that really kind of set Wisconsin apart. 84% of the members in Wisconsin are employed by groups of 50 or more. Nationwide, that's only about a 62%. So that really kind of changes the logistics and some of the opportunities for us a little bit. But another thing that the membership survey has told us that really is very encouraging is that 80+% of the members who are surveyed indicated that if they had to do it all over again, they would select family medicine. And 88% of them said that they do and would encourage medical students to select family medicine as their specialty. So we think that that still is all good, and one of the things that we are hoping to do is to continue to provide that value to our members so that they continue to feel positive about that.
And I guess I would add too, those are great statistics, but our goal is to increase that. I would love to see 100% of our members feel that this is the best choice that they made in their practice. And our goal as an organization is help to serve, educate, and to advocate for our members so that we can make our practice environments and our professional lives more satisfying.
One of the things that is a challenge to the board, Mark and Dave have been leading the board for the past year and will continue to do so for the next year. One of the challenges is we have there's no lack of ideas of things that we should be doing as an academy. But what's really kind of interesting is where do those dollars come from? And we have tried very hard over the last several years to really keep our dues at a minimum so that it's not too burdensome. We are the 12th largest state chapter, so we've got a lot of opportunity to have some impact. But we have and will be looking at things like sponsorship and endorsements and things like that in order to generate non-dues revenue. But we're trying to do it so it is not intrusive or anything like that.
We're really trying to follow the values of our membership when we make decisions like that. And we want to value and make sure that the membership cost is priced correctly and that we're balancing that with collaborative work, some grants, writing, and opportunities to really collaborate and help control the cost of membership.
And one of the ways that we try to help is that we provide SAM sessions, self-assessment module sessions. We have one in person, and then we collaborate with a couple of states and do a virtual one. And we try to keep the cost of that very reasonable so that the members can participate. And we've had 25 to 35 people participate in each of those, so I think that's been good.
And, we've heard from the membership over the past few years that licensure issues, maintenance of certification, and certainly CME that's accessible and affordable are key requests. And so this is part of our ability as an organization to really meet your needs with the podcasts and the virtual SAMs. It's a wonderful opportunity to bring those services directly to where you are, whether it's your practice, your home, or a small group of physicians getting together to do these CMEs.
And what continues to, I think, impress me is the way that the outside community views the academy. We really are recognized as kind of the voice of reason, the go-to organization. We do have people in the state government and other places that do call us, ask us to be involved. We've been involved in many different projects, Choosing Wisely and the Team-Based Care Initiative and payment reform and things like that. So I think we need to continue to be present so that we can continue that kind of impact.
And I would say the work that you do every day in family medicine is incredibly valued, and we're very pleased to represent your work in making sure that there is a place for government, a place for organized medicine, the place for employed medicine to go to and be the voice of family medicine.
And I would just like to highlight that we, as a board and as an organization, translate the efforts that you have in providing care to people of Wisconsin and getting that message clearly across to the policymakers, the lawmakers at the Capitol. We retain a legislative liaison who works very closely with us and is very adept at reflecting the values of our organization and, more importantly, helping us try and meet the needs of the citizens of Wisconsin. One very important way of each of you being able to demonstrate that is participating in Doctor's Day. For the last few years, through the auspices of the Wisconsin Medical Society, we've had a gathering of physicians of all specialties in Madison with a specific structured way of meeting with your individual legislators to establish relationships and to educate them on some of the real key issues that are affecting you and your patients back home. This year that will be on February the 10th. As family doctors, we gather as a subgroup and we meet specifically with the key change makers in the state capitol. So this is one way of being able to translate some of your perspectives into real change as we go forward in 2016 and beyond.
And Dave, in our survey of our members, they do rank advocacy as like one of the most important elements that we bring to the table for them.
Absolutely. And, you know, if you're like me, advocacy is a hard thing to get your head around, and it sounds pretty daunting. But we do have effective ways of having all of us have our voices known. We also even go beyond that as participants with the American Academy and its efforts with legislative action and information at this national capital in Washington, and we do that on an annual basis. And Wisconsin is very well represented in that effort as well.
And Mark, we're not only represented at the Capitol, but we also try to utilize some of the other resources that are out there, PAC and LAF and things
Sure.
like that.
So there's some opportunities, and you know, some of us want to be in our legislator's office shaking their hand and having a relationship, you know, and some of us don't, and that's okay. So we do have opportunities for you to contribute, you know, in many different ways to our legislative efforts, and there's an opportunity to actually contribute dollars, and you can self-direct those dollars and identify where you'd like them to go, or you could work with an advisor that can help navigate some of those murky waters at times, and we can do that through the Wisconsin Academy of Family Physicians.
Yeah, and our website, WAFP.org, has all of the information about those ways of contributing, but also all the information on a legislative grid of all of the different pieces of legislation that we are tracking, what our position is, and what the outcome, eventual outcome is for something like that. And one of the things that we take a lot of pride in is that within the last year or so, or 2 years, we introduced some legislation for the very first time and actually had it pass. And so the primary care grant program was established, and it makes available to residents who decide to complete their training here in Wisconsin and decide to stay here in Wisconsin, the opportunity to get a grant of $20,000 a year for up to 3 consecutive years if they work in an underserved area. And when you look at that underserved map of Wisconsin, it's just about the entire state. So we're very fortunate that we have that. We've had a number of students who have, or residents rather, who have taken advantage
Actually,
of it.
our 3rd year now,
Yeah.
and we've had a total of 9 students take advantage of that. When we bring this back to the voice of our members, when we survey our members, they consistently say this is perhaps one of the best ways we can encourage medical students and support them in family medicine. And so we've continued to work and had great advocacy, and it's nice to have results with the relationships that were established and the work that was accomplished.
One of the things that I hear all the time is payment reform, payment reform, payment reform. What have we been doing with that, and what are we going to be doing to help our members?
Absolutely. Well, many of you have heard of MACRA, the Medicare and CHIPS Reauthorization Act, which fixed the SGR, which is a good thing, but we need to prepare ourselves for the way we'll be paid differently, and we're trying to stay one step ahead in education, and we recently had a board meeting dedicated to this, and some communication that was shared with our membership around how we're preparing and educating and informing our practices around payment reform that will be coming. And our goal is for you to be successful in your practices and have rewarding practices, and we intend to stay on top of this.
And the survey of our members that we've done is very few of them have a working knowledge of this. Again, with 80+% of our members being employed, they may not necessarily be affected by that. But there are 2 very distinct paths here, and we'll continue, if you can make sure that you look at Your Academy in Action and Inside the Capitol, our newsletters that we send out, and our website. We'll have that information and make sure that we get that available. We'll probably incorporate that into our E3 programming as well. The other thing that has been for the last couple of years, continues to be a major area of focus for us, is workforce.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Dave, you want to just maybe tell us a little bit about some of the things we're doing there?
Yes, when you look at where our dues going, we talked a little bit about advocacy, we talked about education, coming up with payment reform, obviously keeping all of us abreast of some of the very important changes that are coming to our practices. But I think all of us recognize, and this is validated by our survey response, that workforce development, meeting the needs of the state of Wisconsin, be it urban areas or, most importantly, our rural communities in which we really need more family physicians. And how do we do that? And we have to look at the development of students and residents to view our practices and our state in general as an attractive place to practice. So one of the things that our academy has done through the help of our foundation is really invest in early exposure of students to family medicine. And one of the most important ways of doing that is having students attend the National Conference of Family Medicine Residents and Students, which is held annually in Kansas City. And we have made a pledge over the last few years to send 50 students from the state. We have generally been the first or second largest contingent of students present at the national meeting. And in return, what we've done is we've tracked student attendance with student commitment to family medicine. And I'm pleased to say that that investment has paid off. We have 87% of students who attend that national meeting have matched into family medicine. More than 2/3 of those have matched into programs here in the state of Wisconsin. So that's one tangible way that we use your contributions in terms of dues and membership to translate into addressing the workforce needs of our state.
As far as workforce, Mark, one of the things that we have set out to do is to make sure that we have ongoing efforts to engage students, to engage the residents. But there's been a number of new residency programs, and we've been trying to reach out to them as well.
Yes, and so the Academy several years ago made a very intentional effort to visit every single residency training program in the state of Wisconsin, introduce the Wisconsin Academy of Family Physicians to the residents and medical students that may be on rotations there, and really have a conversation around what it was about to be in the Academy. We've also been very pleased, and in my own organization, have been able to start a new residency training program in family medicine, and we certainly are very appreciative of the work that the Academy has done in making some of those dollars available for starting new family medicine residency training programs in the state of Wisconsin.
What's really been kind of interesting is this is the third year that we're visiting the residency programs. When we first started, they gave us 10 minutes to come and introduce, and we tell them about the Academy. We've been given an hour now at each of the residency programs, and they're asking us to do programs on payment reform, on workforce issues, on working with systems, things like that. So it's been really kind of nice. It's been a nice collaboration, I think, that we've had. The other topic that really has surfaced as something that's very important to our members is leadership development. And I wonder if the two of you want to maybe talk about that a little bit?
Sure. You know, and again, we try to make knowledge-based decisions, and as we continue to reach out to our members in Wisconsin, we certainly have noted that over 50% of our members are in leadership positions. Some of them are paid, some of them are voluntary leadership positions, but we recognize that you're very valued in your communities and in your practices and in your health systems. As we learned your roles in leadership, we're really trying to put more information out there for leadership development, and we're working on a toolkit that will be available to our members.
So, you know, I think what you've heard here is that this is your Academy in action, that we are a responsive organization to the needs of its members, that we've had great accomplishments, and that we have a plan for helping all of us succeed in providing the best care possible to the citizens of the state of Wisconsin. So your efforts, your commitment, your ideas, your creativity, and your participation are very valued.
So Dave, we've got a little under 3,000 members. All of them, of course, are watching this video, and they're all saying, well, gee, how can I get involved? What opportunities are there for me to get involved? Do we have any?
Absolutely. We have a number of committees that are always looking for new members. We're always looking for applicants to the board of directors. We have specific targeted needs based upon regions, and having people who can be our key contacts and can help us make the links and perhaps help you solve those big issue problems in your local neighborhoods. Those are the kinds of things that we're looking for. And so contacting us at the Academy office, looking at our website, linking on to the contacts with Larry, I think that's the first place to start. And obviously being a supporter of the organization by contributing to your dues, and even going beyond that, making additional contributions to our political action committee, our legislative investment fund, and most importantly, our foundation, which serves as the philanthropic arm of the Academy.
Again, we want to be your go-to organization. We do understand you have lots of things to do, and to just voluntarily go to our website and look stuff up probably isn't going to happen. But if something comes up, you can call us, you can go to a website, and we will be responsive. With that, the two of you have any last comments?
I would just say, our board members are very engaged. We would welcome a call or a connection or questions from any of our members, really at any time. And as you think about your involvement in the Academy, pick one thing and, give us a call, ask a question, provide a contribution, attend Doctor's Day, and just pick one thing and take small steps, and your voice is very important, and we really welcome it.
And together we are the voice of family medicine for Wisconsin.
And they should always read your column in the newsletter, right?
President's newsletter.
There you go, okay.
Thank you.
Have a good 2016, everybody.